Alright, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I am the Truth on May 9th, 2015. And today we are here with female boxer, IBA Middleweight Champion, Kaylee Reis. How you doing today, Kaylee?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. You're going to be my first interview of the month of May of all female interviews, and hopefully we can get you guys a little bit more exposure and get some of the fans to understand who you guys are and how hard you guys really work. So let me just go over a few little facts. You fight at middleweight. You're age 29. You're
I'm 28. I'm 28.
Oh, you're 28?
Yeah, I'm 28. I got my age wrong. Okay,
well I'm glad you corrected that. I know women never want to be older than they're supposed to be, so let's get that right.
No, man, I'm close enough to 30. Let's not make it any closer than
All right, your pro record is 7 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. And you're out of Providence, Rhode Island, right?
Yes, correct.
And just so some boxing fans know, that's also the same area as female boxer Shelly Vincent, correct?
It is, yes it is.
And you two actually do have a relationship. We're going to talk about that later. You guys are pretty good friends, so we'll bring that up later in the interview.
Okay.
So let me just back up a little bit. Tell me how you got started in boxing.
Well, basically, I've always been sporty type, always been into sports. Little rough, tough kid, but for whatever reason, I didn't think that boxing existed like around my area, kind of just in the movies. So I kind of started looking for somebody to train me, looking for a gym, and a friend of the family, a friend of my mother's, Domingo Tall Dog Monroe. He was a Native American fighter in the early 90s from around here. He started training me at my house, started showing me the basics, and then I eventually found Manfredo's gym in Pawtucket, did a couple of classes, and I instantly fell in love with the sport.
Okay, so what type of amateur career did you have?
I didn't have much of an amateur career due to the lack of girls my weight from around here, and due to the lack of finances to get me to the tournaments that weren't from around this area. I did have a few amateur fights, but nothing expensive. I won the Rocky Marciano tournament here in Massachusetts in 2007. I won the New England over here, and I think the same year. I did enter the New York Golden Gloves when I was in New York, but I won by walkover, so I don't even count that. So it's not too expensive, but I tried to stay as easy as I could as an amateur.
Okay. Now, as a lot of boxers, you I know you're not exactly a full-time boxer because you also have to take on another job to supplement the income to keep boxing like a lot of boxers do. So now you do something else besides boxing, right?
I do a few things. I'm actually a certified motorcycle mechanic, and I don't currently work in a shop now, but I kind of do side jobs. I'm also a personal trainer, boxing coach, and I also do security at nightclubs.
Okay, and speaking of the motorcycle stuff, you actually ride a motorcycle, right?
Oh yeah, I stay on 2 wheels.
Okay, and I just want to bring that up briefly. You actually were in a motorcycle accident in 2012. How serious was that? Was that almost career ending?
It was supposed to be career ending. I actually got hit by a car. The car went from behind me, went to take a right-hand turn to the left, hit me. I was about 5 minutes from my house, and it was on my birthday, and she totaled the bike. She damn near totaled me. I had a blown out knee, a lot of road rash. I was out for a long time, and I was told I was
But I mean, you've persevered from that, and like you said, you kind of grew up. You know, you wanted to get into it. You were kind of into the whole sports thing. So I mean, you're obviously a pretty tough girl. I mean, you box. You know, you work on motorcycles. You've crashed motorcycles. So I mean, this sport isn't for dainty women, correct?
Yeah, no, not at all. No, it's not for dating women at all.
And that's what I want some of the fans to understand. I mean, some of them don't understand. Okay, they think first thing they think is female boxers. They think, oh, how exciting is that going to be? Two girls fighting in the ring. But this isn't catfighting. You guys train just like the men. You train just as hard. You train for just as many hours. I mean, you guys do this. You do the same training, the same exercises. You guys even spar with men sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, that's all I spar with. Every once in a while spar with girls. It's all guys.
Okay, so for a boxing fan that has never seen a female fight, why should they go and watch two females fight?
Because, like I've always said, I always demand the respect of people in the gym as not being a female, but actually being a fighter, just like the males are. We fight, we train hard, and we always put on a good show. We always put on a good fight. I mean, we have more heart, I think, than most of the guys. I can't say all, you know. So it's not going to be two girls and bikini mud wrestling. It's going to be two warrior females going head to head in that ring and throwing the game they have in that ring. We do the same things the guys do.
And I want to ask you real quick about that. Why don't you think women boxers get the respect they deserve, seeing that you guys have to work just as hard, if not harder, than the male boxers?
To be honest with you, I think it has to do a lot with the people who have seen women's boxing. A lot of the times, the wrong. That's no disrespect to any female fighter or any fighter out there at all. But sometimes they showcase the wrong kind of fight, or something the spectator. Because this boxing is a spectator sport. Let's be real here. They showcase the wrong fight. Either the girls that do not know how to fight, or girls that are, I guess, appealing to what people want to see. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it has to do with the skills of the fighters too. I think back in the 90s, where the late 90s, the late Ali's, Lucia Rikers, when they had that was the best era for women's boxing. It's died down, and we don't get any TV time. People don't even know women's boxing exists, until they actually meet myself or another female fighter. We don't get any exposure on television like the men do. We deserve a fair chance.
And I agree with that, and I'm glad you brought that up about the TV time, because I want to ask you about that. Now that Al Heyman and guys like Greg Cohen have brought boxing back to the national TV networks, do you guys think that you're going to get more of an opportunity to showcase women's boxing on some of these bigger stages?
I would hope so. I mean, it's only right. I mean, especially with all these networks, they're bringing boxing back to the classic days, which is awesome for boxing in a whole. But now this is a perfect opportunity for them to showcase a women's fight on one of those undercards. So the world that there are female fighters out there, and there's a lot of female talent out there worth watching, just like the guys. They put some garbage fights on TV with the guys. Why not to replace that with some real good talent for female fighting? I mean, it's a perfect opportunity right now.
No, I totally agree with you, because they keep talking, they keep using the phrase, we're bringing boxing back. Well, the last time I checked, female fighters were involved in boxing. So if you're bringing it back, that means you're bringing it back as a whole, not just men's boxing. It's not just a men's sport.
Yeah, which I totally agree. Also, too, a lot of people don't know that women are actually in the Olympics now for boxing, and it's 2012. That's another thing that I was hoping when we went to the Olympics, that it would kind of give it a boost up, but nothing really happened. I mean, poor Clarissa Shields, man, she is a warrior in that ring, and she was the only one to bring that gold between the women and the men's boxing Olympic team in 2012. It's crazy. That should have picked up, some more exposure from women's boxing. So, there just needs to be exposure. People need to see. They listen with their eyes, basically. When they see it, they're like, oh, all right, cool, and then maybe they'll start catching on and start to watch it.
And I totally agree with you. And something I forgot to mention that I feel is important, that you actually are ranked #2 in the world as a middleweight, correct?
Yes, I am.
So, also, do you have any superstitions or rituals or habits that you do before a fight?
I just want to make sure I'm relaxed. I have my own Native American beliefs. We have our own ceremonial things. But basically, boxing is about 90% mental. I have to make sure my mental is okay. I have to be relaxed. I don't like seriousness. I don't like everybody to be too serious. I like to have fun. I like everything to be relaxed. So I have the same people around me, and we just have to kind of all just be relaxed.
Okay, now you just brought up about being native, so let's talk about your native culture a little bit. I know you're really strong into it. You promote it quite a bit. You say you fight for all the nations. So talk to me about how much you're into that a little bit.
I'm very, very, very proud of my Native American culture. I am a mixed Native American. I'm also Cape Verdean blood, but I was raised, just being we call it a Black Indian. So I take so much pride in being Native American and just the different cultures and the different rituals we have. When I say fight for all nations, I fight for every tribe, every nation, man, woman, child, all the genocide that all the tribes have gone through all over the world. I just want to be that warrior representation of something positive and go in that ring with all that fight that we have as a nation and just represent everybody and fight for them, fight for the missing women up in Canada, the Native American women up in Canada are missing, have been murdered. Just all the things that we take on as a nation of people and kind of endure that and express it through fighting and actually literally fight for my people, because we've been doing that as a nation of people for years and years, decades, centuries.
Okay, now I just want to bring up your most recent fight, because you've talked a lot in the media or in interviews and saying you want to fight top women. You want to fight, girls that are above you or better because you want to fight the best. Well, you just recently fought the #1, which is Christina Hammer, who is 18-0 now. Unfortunately, you lost a unanimous decision, but you did knock her down in the last round, and you guys were fighting for the WBO Middleweight title. So here's what I want to bring this to every fan's attention, because I want them to understand how overshadowed women boxing gets. We just had Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. They each got paid about $1 million for this title fight. You and Christina Hammer fought for a WBO middleweight title. You're both ranked #1 and #2, just like Manny and Floyd were. And what did you get paid for that fight, if you don't mind telling me?
I got $8,000 for that fight. It's not even the fraction of what they got.
So 2 women that are ranked #1 and #2 in the world fight for a WBO middleweight title. She probably got a little bit more, so maybe we'll say around 10 or something. You got 8,000, and these 2 guys each got $1 million apiece. So if that isn't a problem in boxing, I don't know what is.
That's just crazy to me. I mean, if I was in it just for the money, I'd be crazy. I love the sport. I call it an art because it actually is an art. But when you look at those figures on paper and the prestige of what us 2 women were fighting for versus exactly what you said, Manny and Floyd were fighting, there's no different. There's not WBO and female and WBO and male. It's the same thing. It's just male and female. You know what I'm saying? We have the same representatives that go all around the world and represent their belt.
And that's what I'm trying to get out there to the fans, how ridiculous that is. I cannot even believe that. As a boxing fan and a boxer writer, I'm sorry, but I'm appalled at that, because that is completely ridiculous. I understand that Floyd Mayweather is one of the most popular boxers out there. I understand Manny Pacquiao is too, but we need to get some of these women out there more. We need to learn how to promote them. We need to get them out there so that that you women can be earning. I mean, come on, at least add another 0 on there, guys. At least give them 5 figures.
That would have been nice, I mean, honestly, that was the biggest fight of my career. And although I didn't win, I learned so much from that fight personally, for myself as a fighter, as an individual, and just about the business in a whole. Of course, I would have loved to win, but the knockdown, it was a serious knockdown. I personally, I'll tell you about that fight. I waited way too long to do exactly what I could have done in the first round. Her height and her moving around the ring kind of not threw me off, but it was a little hard to time because she was so tall. And we knew that she was going to be tall. She was going to run around and use her boxing skills, exactly what she did. But I had that shot in the first round. I just was a little hesitant. I'm in a totally different country. Biggest fight of my life. I'm in somebody's backyard. I'm always going to somebody else's hometown. So there was a lot to process, but I've learned so much. I wouldn't really. The only thing I would change is not waiting so long and just going in and getting the job done. But the experience-wise, I wouldn't change anything. So you're okay. I know exactly what I do.
So you're okay with the decision then? You agree that you lost the fight though?
I did lose the points. I mean, the fight on points. I know I lost the fight on points, but I just wasn't throwing as much as I should have. I was hesitating a lot. because I just her moving around and also too, I knew she was gonna hold a lot, so I was trying to avoid that, trying to be on the outside, but she can't really do that with a taller fighter. But I don't disagree with losing the fight at all because I didn't throw as much as I should have. However, I don't feel like I lost. I got beat up. Oh God, Kay, she really no, that's not the case. It's just I waited too long. And next time I fight it, because there's going to be a next time, she's not going to get up. I'll make sure of that.
Okay, so now after this fight, obviously you're probably taking a little bit of time off because that was the biggest fight of your career. But now, what's for you the rest of this year? What do you want to do in 2015?
I just want to keep progressing. I mean, actually, I usually fight at junior middle welterweight. I went up to middleweight when I fought Teresa Posey in November when I won the IBA title. The last time I fought at middleweight was when I was amateur. I kind of stuck to junior middleweight. So I do want to stay at middleweight right now, and I do want the rematch with Christina Hammer, but I will take whatever fight, whenever, whoever. I just want to keep progressing as a fighter and growing because I like to learn. You never know everything about boxing. There's always something to learn. So I just want to keep getting better.
Okay.
I know I have what it takes to be one of the best, so...
Talking about learning, I want to bring up somebody that I've actually done an interview with before. Is one of your good friends, Shelly Vincent, who's actually a champion. And I know you guys work together like in and out of the ring. So tell me what you've learned from Shelly Vincent to progress in your career.
Man, that girl works so hard. She is one of the hardest working athletes that I've ever had the pleasure to be around and be really close friends with. I've learned to laugh a lot more than I already do. I've learned the importance of having somebody to have your back that does the same thing as you do. And we're really close. You know, we feed off each other when we're working out in the gym. If there's something that she sees that I don't, or vice versa, we just really, really help each other. And I refuse to fight without her being in my corner, unless, of course, she has to fight or she's in camp. But if she can be there, she's there, and vice versa. If I can be in her corner, I'm there. That's one of my really, really good friends.
Okay, so I want to know what you think personally, and hopefully some promoters will hear this or somebody, but if you could change the sport of boxing to help promote women's boxing, to bring more attention to the female fighters, what would you do?
Well, you know, this is something me and Shelly were talking about recently, too. Women need to support women. It doesn't have to be women's boxing. Boxers or fighters rather supporting women's boxing because we do that. We need the women's fans. We need to cater or get women behind. We need to get one another behind one another. I mean, there's too much people kind of hating on what other people are doing and having speculation or just assumption about what women's boxing is. But we really do need the women to start supporting women. That's where we need to start, because if we ask for support from the male audience or just the male audience or just boxing fans, I mean, we're not going to get that far. We need to get the women behind us, you know?
No, I totally agree. And actually, when I posted that I was doing an interview with you, a female friend of mine posted underneath and she said, I didn't even know there was female boxers.
Yeah, see?
So she was actually looking forward to this interview, hearing the interview, because she didn't even know you existed.
Wow.
And like you say, that needs to go up the ladder. There needs to be more promotion. There needs to be not just undercards. There needs to be main events. There needs to be TV coverage of you guys. There needs to be more posters. There needs to be more billboards. I mean, you guys are making these guys money. So why aren't you guys making money?
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, for people who don't know either, with the women's boxing, we fight 1 minute less, and we don't go any more than 10 rounds, which, I mean, we get paid less, so, I mean, it makes sense. But there's really no reason. We work just as hard.
And I totally agree.
Something's got to give.
I totally agree with you that basically the only difference is you guys fight 1 minute less, but you guys make thousands of dollars less.
Yeah.
That doesn't balance out. You fight with the same rules. You guys get punched in the face. You guys got to train just as hard. You got to spar just as hard. You guys got to sacrifice just as much. Some of you guys might actually even sacrifice more than the males, because some of you guys are mothers. So you guys got to spend more time away from your children. So I don't know. It frustrates.
I don't know what it is, but a lot of promoters won't put female fights on. It doesn't make any sense. Most of the time, when people have never seen female fights and there's one or two female fights in the card, they fall in love. They think that's the best fight of the night. It's better than the guys' fight. They just need to stop putting on people, boxing fans who don't even know there's female boxers. Stop giving us a chance. Put us on your shows. I'm not even asking for TV time yet. Just put us on our shows. It's really hard to get. Have you ever been to a female boxing card where there was more than one female fight on the card, if any?
I think I've been to one actually, and it was an amateur show, and there was maybe 2 on the show.
Exactly. It needs to balance out. We need there's so many female fighters. There's so much talent out there. These promoters just need to give it a chance, man. They're not even giving it a chance.
Do you think it would help if we had more female trainers and more female promoters?
I would like to think so. I would like to think so, but we have to start with getting female fights on cards. Period. Once you get our foot in the door and there's more female fights being generated, then the promoters, then the matchmakers, and then because there are female promoters, there are female matchmakers, and there are quite a few female trainers. One of the female trainers, she actually trained a male fighter, Kirkland, and Wolf. She's one of the best that was out in the 90s. She's a hell of a trainer, but people don't even really know who she is.
I was just gonna say, and she was one hell of a fighter too.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's where I got that overhand right from. Watching that.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time and you being open with everything we talked about as far as how women need more respect in the sport, more promotion, more TV time, more money, everything really.
Yeah.
And like I said, thank you for taking time, and I hope this helps a little bit, get you out there a little bit more, and hopefully get some of the fans listening. And this whole month that I'm going to do with female boxers, I hope it helps the sport of boxing in general, and definitely you guys get promoted a little bit more.
I hope so too, because just real quick, me and Shelly also, we fight for more than just fighting too. A lot of the male fighters, they just fight to fight. I fight more than just fighting, man. Shelly does a lot with the kids. I do a lot for my Native American community. We're trying to make this a whole movement rather than just punching each other in the face, you know. So that should get people more involved also. We're fighting for our cause.
That's great, and that's great to hear that you're just in there doing just more to, because like you said, you guys definitely aren't doing it for the money because you're not getting paid.
Hell no.
So nobody can definitely accuse you guys of doing that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to promote, or anywhere that your fans can talk to you or hear from you on that we can get out there to help you guys?
Well, I do have a Facebook fan page. Anybody can contact me through there. Me and Shelly actually are trying to start a blog so we can have like a question and answering thing. But yeah, we definitely I have a fan page. It's KO-Kaylee Reis, and you guys can just like that page and get any updates on myself or Shelly's also.
All right, and hopefully sometime before the end of the year, we will definitely hear that you're back in the ring and maybe even fighting for another title, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to add a few more belts to my collection, so I'll be chasing the gold.
All right, anything you want to say to your supporters or your fans out there before we end the interview?
Well, I just want to thank you for taking the time to interview me and actually really giving a crap about us female fighters. I really, really appreciate it, and it's awesome what you're doing with the whole month of May. I think that's really, everybody should follow suit. To all my fans and my supporters, man, I thank you guys so much. It means a lot to have a whole bunch of fans that behind me and supporting me, especially when I always get these calls overseas to go fight in somebody else's country. I really appreciate all the love and support I get from my fans. And to the Native country, stand up, Auta, stand strong. I fight for all nations. Let's do this.
All right, and to all the boxing fans out there, I'm throwing this challenge out there. Next time you see the female fight on TV or in your local area, pay the money and go watch these women fight. Because they fight just as hard as the men, they train just as hard as the men, and they deserve the respect as the men. So go out there and pay your money because they definitely fight just as hard as the men.
For sure. Thanks, man.
All right, and the truth has spoken.